Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today I will be talking about Premier League Match Week 16 preview and prediction. So before I start my prediction, I just want to tell you guys that I'm making this video 2 days before the Match Week 16. So I'm gonna judge their form from Match Week 1 to 14, excluding Match Week 15, because the time is too little and it's too tight. So therefore, I really cannot wait after this match week, and then it's gonna be really hard to make a video and I have to edit and everything. So therefore I'm gonna judge their form until Premier League match week 14. Crystal Palace versus Leicester City. Crystal Palace recent form line is not really looking good. On the other hand, Leicester City, they got a draw against Manchester United. So both of these teams are a very unpredictable team. Crystal Palace, they can be in bad form and then suddenly they play good football against big teams. On the other hand, same goes to Leicester City. They play good football against good teams, and then when it comes to lower ranked team, they do lose points. So this is going to be an interesting game, but I'm pretty sure Leicester City will be eager to get a win out of this game because Crystal Palace did concede 10 goals in their last 2 games. So therefore, I think this is going to be one-sided, and I do think Leicester City will be a little bit too good, and I think they're going to win this game with a scoreline of 3-0. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. I think this is a great game to watch. Chelsea, they only got 3 points in the last 4 games. On the other hand, Aston Villa got 10 points in the last 4 games. So in terms of form line, we can really see that Aston Villa are actually really performing well. And even if you look at the way they play against Crystal Palace, for example, they were a man down and still they were able to score 2 goals after getting a red card. So I can really say that this team defensively is performing really well, and even in terms of attacking, this team is playing some tremendous football. On the other hand, Chelsea, they're inconsistent. Sometimes they do put on a good show, sometimes they don't. But this season, I feel like they are overloaded with a lot of strikers, and some of them are playing out of their position, and this is going to cost them a lot this season, I do think. And for this game, it is really hard to predict, to be honest, but I have a feeling Aston Villa will be a little bit too good for Chelsea. Because if you look at their head-to-head record, Chelsea do have a dominant record, but if you look at recent form, Chelsea are not consistent, and Aston Villa is a team that they are really punishing the team who don't have a good defense. So therefore, I think Aston Villa will win this game, and I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Aston Villa 3, Chelsea 2. Everton versus Manchester City. I think this is a great game to watch. Everton, they've been performing well this season. Their last 3 Premier League games has been a 2-0 win against Leicester, 2-1 win against Arsenal, and a 1-0 win against Chelsea. So I can say they've been playing well against some big teams. On the other hand, for Manchester City, they are not really scoring goals this season, but defensively they've been playing well. And compare their defense with Everton, I think they do have a better defense. So I think this is gonna be a tight game. This is gonna be a great game to watch. But for my prediction, I'm actually gonna fancy Manchester City. They will just win this game with a scoreline of 2-1. This is gonna be a tight game. It can go either way. It can go to Everton. It can be a draw as well. But I think Manchester City will just win this game. Brighton versus Arsenal. This is going to be a very important game for Brighton and Arsenal. Even though Arsenal do have momentum, they won against Chelsea, I do think that Brighton are going to really fight for this game because they know that Arsenal are still not yet convincing, even though they did win against Chelsea. But to be honest, we all know that Chelsea is not a consistent team. So therefore, Brighton will be going to this fixture telling themselves we have to win, because if they do lose this game and if Fulham win, on the other hand, they're going to be in relegation zone, and I can tell you this is going to be a very stressful situation for them because Fulham has been performing well. Brighton form line is not really looking good, so Brighton will have to pick up some points over here. On the other hand, for Chelsea, yes, they did win 3-1 against Chelsea, but I still think that Arsenal are still not convincing, even though they were playing some brilliant football, but the last 10 to 15 minutes were not really convincing. They lost concentration, and Chelsea literally have chances to come back, but still the luck was literally against Chelsea. So therefore, I think this is going to be a very interesting game, but I do think that Arsenal will be a little bit too good because they do have quality players. They do have some hungry youngsters. So therefore, I think Brighton will have a tough time against Arsenal, and for my prediction, I'm gonna go with Arsenal 3, Brighton 1. Southampton versus West Ham. this is gonna be a very great game to watch because both of these teams are performing well and both of these teams will be eager to get a win out of this game. Southampton against Fulham, they were really disappointing. I really thought they will win that game or at least show some fight, but they only had 3 shots and they only had 1 shot on target. It was very disappointing. On the other hand, West Ham, they've been performing well, but their 3-0 defeat against Chelsea was kind of a disappointing performance, but I do think that was not their day. And over here, they're going to fancy themselves, but I still think it's going to be difficult because Southampton are a team in form, and therefore I'm going to go with Southampton to win this game with a scoreline of 2-0. West Bromwich versus Leeds United. This is a great game to watch. Both of these teams knows each other very well because they were in championship together for the past 2 years. So I do think this is going to be a tight game. But from a prediction, I do think Leeds United are a better team. As we all know that West Bromwich changing their manager at a wrong time, I'd say, was a bad call from them. And I think they'll pay the consequences. And therefore, I'm going to go with Leeds United 3, West Bromwich 0. Burnley versus Sheffield United. I think both of these teams will be battling for 3 points. Burnley, they've been performing well. Their recent form line looks very strong, and I feel like they are safe from relegation. On the other hand, Sheffield United, they are still in deep trouble. But still, if they do convert their defeats to a draw or wins, I still think that there is some hope because this team still a very organized team. It is just that mentally, I think they will be very tired. So I think this is a great game to watch. Both of these teams will be battling for 3 points. But from a prediction, I actually do think that Burnley will win this game. Even though their last 2 meetings was a 1-1 draw. So I think this is going to be a tight one. But Burnley, they are organized. They've been playing some tremendous football recently. They beat Arsenal, they beat Wolves. So I do think Burnley is a better team. And I think Burnley will win this game with a scoreline of 1-0. Wolves versus Manchester United. I think this is a great game to watch because Wolves do actually have a very, very good record against Manchester United since they're back in Premier League. They have faced each other 7 times. 2 times Wolves won, 4 times draw, and 1 time Manchester United. So therefore, I can say this is going to be a tight game and it's going to be a good game. But in terms of Wolves' recent form line, I think it's going to be a one-sided game because Wolves are not really performing well, and we all know that Raul Jimenez issue is really hurting Wolves. On the other hand, Manchester United, they are also playing some decent football recently. Their draw against Leicester City was a disappointing one. I think they should have won that game, but, well, the luck was against them. But for this game, I do think Manchester United will be a little bit too strong, and I do think this is going to be a one-sided. Yes, I'm a Wolves fan, but this is reality. Wolves are not really performing well recently. So I'm going to go with Manchester United 3, Wolves 1. Tottenham versus Fulham. This is going to be a very interesting game because Tottenham recent form line is not really looking good. On the other hand, Fulham, they actually draw the last 4 games. They draw against Liverpool, they draw against Brighton, they draw against Newcastle, and also against Southampton. And the Southampton game, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Defensively, they were really good because they were literally not letting Southampton go into their penalty area. So therefore, I think this team defensively is a very strong team. But I don't know what kind of tactics they're going to play against Tottenham because Tottenham is an unpredictable team and I don't know what kind of tactics Tottenham are going to use. But from a prediction, I'm actually going to fancy Tottenham. Even though Fulham is performing well, Tottenham form line is not really looking good recently, but I still think that Tottenham do have quality, and we all know that Tottenham are going to play counter-attack football because they know Fulham will try to create chances, and they're going to go, or attack them, I should say, in counter-attack. And therefore, from a prediction, I'm going to go with Fulham 0, Tottenham 2. Newcastle versus Liverpool. Newcastle are not performing well recently, so I do think that it's going to be an easy game for Liverpool because they've been performing well. Yes, it is going to be an away game, but I still think that Liverpool are performing well. And from a prediction, I'm going to say Liverpool 2, Newcastle 0. So that's the end for Premier League Match Week 16 preview and prediction. If you guys did enjoy my video, please give a big thumbs up. And remember to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys soon.